So, what's the first thing that you think about when you think about motorcycles? Some people think that it's all about, these outlaws that drive really fast, or these hardcore chicks, or these, bad boy stigma kind of thing that you think about. But recently, there has been a lot of other cultures that surround motorcycles, and not all of these are necessarily bad or vigilante or anything like that. They're just cultures that come with having a motorcycle. So today I'm going to talk about some of the cultures that surround motorcycles, and I'll talk about some of the benefits that comes with owning a motorcycle, and lastly, I'm going to give some advice on what you should do when you have one. So like I was saying earlier, motorcycles always have had this bad stigma of, outlaw gangs and driving too fast or, recklessly and things like this. But recently there has been a lot of other motorcycle groups that are on contrast to that. There are people who drive reckless, and there are motorcycle gangs that have bar fights and things like this. But there are also motorcycle ministries. My friend at university is in a motorcycle ministry, and they actually go to the bars or wherever other motorcycle groups meet and kind of minister to them. And there's also groups such as cancer foundations. The Gentleman's Ride, it's where you get in a nice suit, you get on your 1970s to 1980s motorcycle, you make a donation and you ride together through a certain city: Austin, Houston, Tokyo, London, New York. All the major cities have one, and it's to have awareness for prostate cancer. So there's those types of motorcycle groups and meetings, and then there's obviously outlaw ones. But there's also another set where people actually just go out and tour the country. It's called touring, where people go, get the motorcycle, pack the tent, pack their bags, and go across the continents, the U.S., wherever they're going to see America or to see all of Latin America. There's a Instagram account that I follow, the Motorcycle Surgical Diaries, and it's about a UK couple that started from Argentina and is traveling all the way to Alaska on motorcycle. They started last October, and that's just kind of their diary of adventuring. And so these are just some of the cultures that surround motorcycles, and now I'm going to talk about some of the benefits that it is to own one. One of the major benefits is motorcycles are a fourth of the cost of a car. So they're a lot cheaper. They're a lot cheaper to maintain. All I've had to do for mine is change the oil, which is $24.99. All I've had to do for maintenance, it's just the oil change, gas. I fill up on $4.50, and that lasts me the whole week. I get 120 miles out of that. And another thing, it'll save you time. When you're in traffic, you can also easily just cut through traffic, and it'll cut down traffic stuff. So all of these things are really beneficial to owning a motorcycle. And one of the other things is insurance costs. Most insurance yearly will cost you $1,300, $1,500. But with the motorcycle, some people with good driving license can actually get down to $120 a year. If you're like me, I pay $280, which is a lot better than paying $1,500 annually. So those are just some of the benefits to having one. And lastly, for advice, when you're looking to buy a motorcycle, I'd first recommend that you take the motorcycle training class that your state offers, such as Texas. I took a $200 class, and it taught me everything about safety, to how to ride. They gave me on time on a motorcycle, and I got my license in 3 days. So once you do that, you'll know a lot more about what it is to ride a motorcycle, and it can possibly save your life through some of the safety things that they can teach you. And to own a motorcycle, just look on Craigslist, find a cheap bike to learn on, something that you can beat up until you're ready to upgrade to your next one. So thank you for watching my speech about motorcycles.